Alright, so today we're going to be talking about multiplying binomials. Okay, first off, what you need to know how to do for today's lesson. By the time you leave, and if you don't understand, watch my video again and again and again until you have everything memorized. You will have to be able to multiply two binomials using tinfoil. That's right, we're going to be using tinfoil, so if you don't have a roll, make sure you get... Okay, so we will be using the acronym FOIL, first, outside, inside, lasts. Probably have heard of it, right? Okay. Alright, so, in review. Hopefully when you're looking at this right here, you're saying, oh yeah, addition on the inside, multiplication on the out. That's the rule for distributive property. So we're going to shoot that 7. 7 is multiplied to both. It's going to give me 21x plus 35. Done as dinner. Can't add them together, not like terms. Then we learned yesterday how to add and subtract polynomials. Okay? What do we do when we add? Well, we just add. What's 2x plus 3x? 5x. What's 3 plus 5? 8. And I'm done. Okay? Now, notice, because everybody messes up on this, you gotta be careful. There is an addition sign in between there. That means you add. Okay? And remember, adding, you have to add like terms. It's the only way you can add. So watch out, because today we're not going to have an adding sign anymore. Yesterday we had adding and subtracting in there. Today we're not having adding and subtracting. You're going to see fun little things like this. What's the symbol? Ah, multiply. Do I have to multiply with like terms? No. What's the rule for multiplying? Just multiply. Kenny, get your stuff out, let's go. Alright. So, basically what do? It's like distributive property here, guys. The only thing is that what would you do if it was just 2x? If it was just 2x times 3x plus 5, what would you do? Well, you'd take 2x and you would multiply. Okay, to both. Well, what would you do if it was just 3 times 3x plus 5? Well, you would multiply the 3 to both. You guys see this little crescent thing? That's what you're going to want to see whenever you're doing foiling. So make sure you see that little croissant. Alright? Okay, let's go. So, that's why we call it first, outside, inside, last. So I'm going to take my first digit. What's my first digits? Well, the 2x and the 3x, that's my first digits. So multiply your firsts together. What does 2x times 3x give me? You should get 6x squared. Don't forget, you're multiplying, and when you multiply with exponents, you add. Okay, so it's going to be x squared. Then I'm going to go my last ones. Well, what are my last ones? Well, 2x and 5. Well, 2x times 5 gives me 10x. Okay? There, now I've distributed. That 2x has gone to both things. I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to go with my 3. And you know, you're aiming for that little croissant, or that claw. 3 times 3x should give me 9x. And 3 times 5 should give you 15. Alright? So, you should end up with 6x squared. However, now I'm adding, and I can combine those two middle ones, because they're like terms. So when I add, I can combine those two. That should give me 19 x's. If I'm not right? 10x plus 9x, that's 19 x's. And then I'm going to add 15 on the end. No more like terms, and I'm done. Now it's kind of an important rule. If you FOIL properly, meaning you do your firsts, your insides, your outsides, and then your lasts, then you can always combine your two middle terms. They will always be like terms. So if you remember that, those two middle ones always will combine. Okay, so let's move on. Like I said. Alright. So I'm going to do first, outsides, insides, last one more time. My firsts. 4x times 7x. 28x squared. Don't forget the square. Number one mistake on foiling. They always forget the squaring the first one. Okay? You're always going to have an x squared on the first one if you have x as the first two. Outsides. My 2 on the outside. Well, what's 4x times a negative 2? Negative 8x. That one's been distributed to both. Now I'm going to distribute this negative 3 to both. So negative 3 times 7 is negative 21x. And then negative 3 times negative 2 is, and you can hardly see that because it's bad writing, positive 6. Now notice again, as I stated, if you FOIL properly, and you'll notice, aren't those like terms? The two in the middle are like terms. So we can combine those. So I'm going to have 28x squares. I'm going to have negative 29x plus 6. And that's it. Not like term, not like term, not like term. Can't combine anymore. That's the nuts and bolts of foiling, guys. And as you can tell, I mean, I could do these all day. Right? I mean, who wouldn't want to just sit here and do this all day? Okay. So, why don't you guys work on the rest? And you guys need to complete this FOIL homework. Be careful on the first ones. This is just distributed property, guys. You guys have been doing this since chapter 2. It's down here when we now have two things being multiplied to two things. That's when we start foiling. And you get that little croissant. Okay? Alright, and then one last little bit. I threw on some extra hard ones. Down here, number 15, watch out, you're adding. Don't multiply, you're not doing foiling here. You're just combining like terms. So watch out for that. I got 4n to the third, that's 8n to the third. 6n to the fourth, and 2n to the fourth, that gives me 8n to the fourth. That's it. I'm done. So be careful on those. These are review topics from before. And then be careful on this. Number 12, as I'm spotting it out. Watch out for 12. What does square mean? It means I have two of these. right? Now FOIL. Okay, so be careful on those. Alright guys, have fun. I know you miss me. Bye.